Back in the day when I was younger, I wasn't afraid of giving my heart to you. Now and again, I get sentimental, but I know it's just a phase I'm going through. And every time I start to slip, I just remind myself I need only think of it. I went through so much hell. Yeah. Or should I care? Should I care for you? Or should I have? Ooh, oh yeah, babe. Yeah. Woo. Y'all let me know what song I was singing. I'll give you guys a shout out in next week's Braxton's review chow. Now with these reviews, they be kind of late or whatever and far and few in between because A, I work when it be coming on, and B, um when it, the new episode premieres, and B, okay. And B, I don't have a DVR, so I have to wait till it shows on Charter. Then that's when I watch it or whatever, and come to you guys with the bullshit. Now, speaking of Waffle House, let me know what's your favorite thing to get at a Waffle House. If you guys have a Waffle House in your area, what's your favorite thing to get at Waffle House? My favorite thing to get at Waffle House is the grilled chicken wraps with cheese in it, onions, and bacon. And then I get hash browns cooked lightly, smothered and covered, which is with cheese and onions. And then I get a large, or it's all the same size cup, unless you get a small cup. It's just the regular size cup. I always get a to go cup though. Because, I'd be a little leery about their cleaning skills. I'd be a little leery about their dishwashers, a little leery. So, I get a vanilla Coke with cherry added as well. Try it. It's really, really good. I live for it. Okay, it's not what's in here now, though. As you guys can tell as I slurp, it's just water. So, anyway. But yeah, y'all tell me in the comments what's y'all favorite meal to get at the Waffle House and what y'all drink as well. They need to upgrade on their desserts though at the Waffle House. They don't hardly have shit, that's really good. I do like that cream pie though, that chocolate cream pie. With the Oreos at the bottom, then the chocolate pudding, then the whipped cream on top. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's quite festive. It's really good. Okay, so we left off last week or whatever, or the week before last, whatever, however it goes. Um, Tamar had played the song for her mom, my man, all that good stuff. I love that song. My man, woo! Mama is singing. Oh, 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 oh. I was like, come on, Tamar. That Heifer put all her mama's feelings into that song for sure, and she slayed those vocals. You guys listen to Tamar Braxton's "My Man." If I don't forget, I will put it in the bottom bar below if y'all haven't heard. I'm sure y'all have, but it's a great song. It really really is. So anyway, we left off with that yada yada. So the girls wanted to go to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. And they invited, it's just the girls coming, and they invited mommy and daddy. And it's been this whole thing about Miss Wanda, which is the daddy's wife. Is the daddy's gonna come alone, or is he gonna come with Miss Wanda? And of course, he ended up coming with Miss Wanda. But it was Tony's duty to tell the mother that they invited daddy. And how do you feel basically about his wife coming? Because they sat down with the father in the past episode, and he asked, can Miss Wanda show up? And they was just like, Miss Wanda and my mama in the room together. I don't think that's gonna mix, beloved. And so, Tony's supposed to ask her mother that, but then Tony didn't want to get backslapped by her mama, so she was just like, "Let me just not ask mommy that." Um, so she didn't. So episode 23, the girls arrived in Puerto Vallarta, and I could have been reviewed that particular episode, but I didn't because it wasn't much that happened. The girls was having fun. Mama E was very funny in episode 23. Um, she was just going back and forth, and they had visited Queen Elizabeth Taylor's mansion in Puerto Vallarta, and apparently Elizabeth Taylor was the side chick, and the guy who she was with, um, had a whole wife and a whole family, whatever. They built a bridge across the bridge, yada yada. Tony asked the mother how did she feel about that. She was just like, she said in her confessionals that she thought a little bit about her situation with their father, Michael Braxton, senior, but she was just like, back then, they didn't say anything, the women, and men could just kind of do what they want, back during the 60s and all that. And even before then, women definitely had a particular role in the household. And if they went against their husband, it was damn near off with their head. Um, so, but I mean, still things applies today. And sometimes the main chick becomes, sometimes the side chick becomes the main chick, which is true in a lot of cases these days. It's unfortunate, but shit happens. People are flawed, darling. And another thing that was interesting during that whole conversation, they had sat down it was a part of the house, Elizabeth Taylor's old house in Mexico, and it's a restaurant included, and all the girls are sitting around talking, going through this whole thing. And Tony brought up the fact that her mom said to her um, that don't confront your man about cheating or anything like that because you could become the side chick. And what she meant by that is if you're not going to do if you know for a fact that your man is cheating and you bring that up to him and say like if he lets you know that he's cheating, if you're not planning on doing anything about it, meaning leaving his sorry ass, then you just need to shut up and let your man cheat on you in peace. And that's some of the realest advice I've ever heard in my life. And that can apply to anybody, male, female, whatever the relationship. Like, if you are just happy with being kept, if you are just happy with them good checks coming in from your man, let your man cheat on you and do whatever. I mean, how many celebrity wives that we see and their men be out on the road and they just cheat on them and sleep with randoms and all kinds of stuff. But mom at home send collecting them checks, and so she good. She knows she getting cheated on, but she don't want to leave that lifestyle. That's one reason why some people stay. But I mean, you got to have some morals or something at some point. Money ain't everything, but to some it is. And I get it. The only people I know that was happy that was broke was Florida and James Evans. Okay, on good times. So I mean, I understand it, but mama, that all was so real. It was so funny. And Tony, she, was just going on and on. Oh, I can live like this, and Birdman can live across the bridge, and yada yada. And Miss Evelyn, I holler on this scene. She was just like, you see that when she's talking, when Tony's talking. See, when you in love, you turn in fool. I like to die. And then Tawanda, her shady ass, she clap hands with Tamar, because basically what Miss Evelyn was saying again is that when you're in love you be blind to certain things that you should be important, that should be important, or when you're in love you don't pay attention to the deed, you don't pay attention to certain stuff what's going on, which is why you get cheated on a lot, because you ain't paying attention, because you just sitting here and you seeing the mess and you're enjoying the amenities and all that. But you're not seeing all the tea that's going down, and you just it was that table scene was very very interesting. Um, Now, and pretty much in episode 23, the last scene they showed Michael Braxton bringing his wife Miss Wanda. Child, they got out the car. They saw Lil Logan. Lil Logan, he was just like, I'm telling mommy. Now Miss Logan has met Miss Wanda before, Michael's their dad's um wife, but he don't really know all the tea as to why she's not around, etc., etc. So it's just a whole lot of mess with that. But he's only 3, so you don't want to spill all the tea. But he's a very smart little boy. He was gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell mom." He knows something ain't right, so that was hilarious. He saw them. He was in the pool with his nanny, and when Miss Wanda and Michael was walking up, so it was a mess box. Let's see what else happened on episode 23. Um, Nothing really. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. So moving on to episode 24, which is probably the most important episode of this season. I heard it's a season finale coming soon. It just seems like it just got here. I hope it's not the season finale already of the Braxtons. Damn. Why did they stop doing reunions? Like, a little side note. Y'all know how I do. Why did they stop doing reunions on Braxton Family Values? Like when Wendy Williams used to host the reunions. I remember that. So anyway, we get to this episode. The sisters minus Tony. They're all, out shopping or whatever, doing their thing. Tamar mentions the whole Vince thing. And now during this trip while they was in Mexico, it was Vince's birthday, and Tamar and Vince spend their birthdays together, of course, naturally, wife, husband, whatever. So they was just like, but it was established. It was already established by everyone that this was just a family trip with just the girls and the parents strictly. That's it. No other people invited. But Tamar, she was just like, I'm sure he want to spend his birthday with y'all. Y'all are a big part of his family. Y'all are my family, but y'all are his family as well, etc. Y'all got a new nephew, my son, and they was just like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not cool. This is supposed to be a family trip or whatever, with just the core, of us girls and stuff. And Tamar, she was just like, well, I just wanted to invite him. We don't spend no birthday together, yada yada. And they was just like, okay, Tamar, whatever. Tamar's whole thing was, Vince, his parents are deceased, and so his parents now is Tamar's parents. And since Vince had that that health scare a few years ago, they make a big production out of birthdays, which I completely understand. So I get that. So anyway, Vince and Logan was already down there. The sisters just didn't know it. But Tamar was just telling them that, I hope y'all cool with them coming or whatever. They was just like, whatever. I mean, Tamar pretty much runs the show. She's one of the executive producers, so I mean, she can kind of do what she want to do. If if can't none of the other sisters do what they want to do on the show, Tony and Tamar can. Pretty, yeah, I'm pretty damn sure about that. So anyway, they're talking yada yada. So we're moving on from that scene. We get to Mama Braxton, and she is with Tawanda and Trina. Tawanda's looking absolutely gorgeous this season. Her hair, her makeup, everything. That Tawanda's body always been snatched, but Tawanda is really giving it to us this season. And I live for it. I live for it. Beautiful, beautiful girl. All of them, love it. And Tracy is giving fashions, child. I'm living. I'm living. So anyway, um, that water's so good. Y'all ever wonder, like, you can just drink water and just drink it and drinking it. Ooh, girl. So anyway, Tawanda, Trina, Mama Braxton sitting down talking. Mama Braxton, she just fiddling that damn straw. Tawanda and Trina start talking about why Trina took her braids out. Miss Braxton like this, itching for some attention. And so Tawanda was just like, "What's wrong with you, child? What's going on?" Miss Braxton was just like, "Look, I met up with the baby yesterday. I saw Logan this morning, and he was just like he ran up to me and was just like, Mama, Mama, I saw Papa and Wanda." Tony, Tawanda, and Trina was just like, "What? Like, are you serious?" She was just like, "Yeah, child. I saw Mommy and Miss Wanda, child. I saw Pop Pop and Miss Wanda. Miss Evelyn, she was just like, I'm through with that. I'm through with this. How about that? And I'm done." And she just wasn't feeling this whole thing. She was just like, you know what? They coming up on here on my trip and intruded on my mess and all this stuff. And Miss Braxton, I love you, but I honestly don't think that they came there to come for you in any kind of way. But I do understand her point of view. But it's been it's somehow or another you have to get over this somehow, but I'll get into that later. But she was just like, you know what, I'm leaving, the first plane smoking, I'm out. It was just like, wait, mama, she was gone. Speedy Gonzalez gone. And so Tawana got on the phone, told Tony, then Trina told Tracy and Tamar, and it was just a mess. So moving on from that scene, we get to the whole main table scene. Now, Mama Braxton had already left. We got all five girls there at the table scene there at this restaurant. It's still in Mexico. And Tony tells all the girls right then, she takes that moment to tell all the girls that, hey, I went on ahead and invited mommy. I went on ahead and invited daddy and his wife, Miss Wanda. Surprise! And they was just like, what? Like they just couldn't believe it. They looked like they damn near wanted to choke Tony, but and Tawanda being Tawanda, always having Tony's back, she was just like, you know what, I understand why Tony did not tell us, because had she pre-told us that she had invited Daddy and his wife, I probably wouldn't have showed up. That was actually a smart move on Tony. It was shady, but it was smart. Because, I'm sure she knows her sisters and she know they wouldn't be up with the bullshit. So she was just like, oh, I mean, they here. Miss Wanda came in. I thought it was stupid. Like the whole time up into this whole table scene, they didn't show Miss Wanda's face. I was like, what the hell is the big like secret reveal? I thought it was stupid. But anyway, she came in and then Papa Braxton came in, sat down. Tony trying to make small talk, and Trina, she was just like, child, let's order, child. um Trina was ordering stuff, and Trina is the only Braxton that speak different languages. She's a different woman. She I love it. She's educational. She's educated, and she's Canadian. So she was just like, nope, nope, nope. Let's go ahead and order. Let's order. To Wanda, hold on. Tony was just like, shouldn't we get the family size? Trina was like, nope, we shouldn't get the family size. She's not our family. She's not. I want to go back to the house, and that's it. So it was just like, child, don't go back to the house. So she ordered whatever, and they started talking about the whole thing. Tony, she was just like, I just really don't know how to handle this whole situation. And I invited you guys here for a reason, because I just wanted to clear the air. And they made it a point to say that this is the first time that all five girls have sat down with Miss Wanda and had a conversation. And it's been like 16, 17 years that that their dad has been married to this lady. So they've never like sat down with her. I think that's crazy. I mean, I understand. They're just protecting their mother, but that's a long ass time. I mean, come on now, like, So they started talking and everything. What did they talk about first? Tony, she was just like, you know what, Miss Wanda, we would never disrespect you or really have much against you, but we just basically we don't know how to take you because of how our dad introduced us. We are constantly, thinking about our mom. And Tamar, she was just like, yeah, like, I always have a wall up, when you're around, and we would never hurt you or anything. But we don't know how to take you or what to say to you, because we're constantly thinking about our mom and how she's going to feel about the whole situation. And Miss Wanda, she was just like, well, what do you mean how your mom's going to feel? Tamar was just like, about, I like to die. Child, Tamar was giving Angela Bassett a run for her money in this episode, and I was living for it. Dramatic. So anyway, she was just like, it was just the presentation how you was presented to us. Um, you know, their mom and dad, the girl's mom and dad, and Mikey, the brother, um, they was married 38 years and got a divorce. Everybody was grown, but they got a divorce, and what they say, 30 days later, he was married to her. So I understand. I do understand. I do understand. That's a long time of things being a certain way, then all of a sudden it's over with. And even if you're grown, I imagine it still affects you. I can't personally relate, but I do understand um with this whole situation and being in the church and being the pillars of the community and everybody looking at you a certain way and you looking at your life in a certain way and looking at your parents in a certain way and like I completely understand that. And then marrying somebody 30 days after your divorce is kind of crazy. So obviously y'all been messing around way before you got married, of course, and they revealed that themselves. So they just felt like she was the main reason as to why their dad never, he just stopped all communication from them. We found out that she actually wasn't child. So they get into the whole thing of the the weddings and stuff. So apparently Tony and Trina both had similar issues with their wedding. Now both Tony and Trina said that they're not that the wife could not come to their wedding because of course how that would affect their mother. Um and so Michael Braxton, he ended up coming to Tony's wedding, but he arrived an hour before um she was getting ready to walk down the, he literally like she was they or at least I understand it. This is how I understand it. Tony was down, they was getting ready to open the doors for Tony to walk out and do her number. Then the daddy come rushing in and had her arm and walking her down the aisle. They didn't even tell the mama didn't know that Braxton was coming to the wedding because they ain't been too long got a divorce and apparently Tony said that they had gotten um a divorce in October and that next April of whatever year that was the first big family function where everybody was invited, and that is when the last time the mother and the father saw each other or they saw their father or whatever. But it was just a whole mess, and so Tamar, she was just like, Tony nor neither Trina nor Tony was happy on their wedding day, and but he was able to make it to Tony's wedding. He was late as hell, and the mama was mad, and they was irritated, but he was able to make it to Tony's wedding. Now we get to Trina's wedding, and Trina also said that you can't bring your wife, just like Tony. And Michael Braxton, he's over there, and he's just like, here I am in the same situation. I'm not able to bring my wife to my kid's wedding, and it's getting on my nerves. I went on ahead and went to Tony's wedding, but when it comes to Trina's wedding, I was just like, enough is enough. Y'all are my kids. Y'all not gonna tell me what to do. So this whole time, it's been a big thing because they thought that Miss Wanda was the one that was preventing their father to coming to Trina's wedding, but it was actually him. He decided his own self not to come to the wedding because he did not want to be told what to do. As a man, he did not want to be told what to do, in which I understand, but that's still your child. No matter how old we all get, we still got parents, and except it's still your child, you still should have pooched on. And Miss Wanda actually said, Michael Braxton revealed that Miss Wanda said for you to go on to your wedding, your daughter's wedding. But he decided his own self not to go to the wedding because he didn't want to be told what to do. Very petty, but it's such a man thing, It's just like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm your dad. I'm your daddy. You ain't mine. Yada yada. Like we know. Um. So Trina's upset, crying at the table. We have Tamar, and here she goes with her Angela Bassett stuff. Now Tracy and Tawanda ain't saying much, but Tamar, she was just like, this whole time, this whole time, we thought it was Miss what? Who stopped you from coming to Trina's wedding? But the hurt, it was you. Talking to Michael Braxton, and he was just sitting there, yeah. So Trina and Tamar, was hugging and stuff, and they, started crying and all that kind of stuff. And that is hurtful to find out that your father did not want to come to your wedding just because he didn't want to come to your wedding. I remember on the past episode, Braxton Family Values on season whatever, um, Trina said to their father, "Oh, I wasn't famous enough for you to come to my wedding, but you came to everybody else's wedding." So it was just a mess. And even Tamar said at her wedding, she said that mommy could come with a plus one and daddy could come with a plus one, but Miss Wanda wasn't technically invited. So I mean, I understand this whole thing, but okay. Before I go on my little rant, let me just finish with what happened. So we had that whole thing, and they was just going back and forth, and um by this time, Miss Wanda had got upset and she walked out. And she was just like, I love and accept all y'all. Tony, she was just like, we owe you an apology because we thought it was you that was preventing our father from seeing us, but it was just him in his own mind being who he is. And I can imagine, all the shit he done did back in the day, being embarrassed and being upset and all that stuff. I can imagine all that. But somehow or another, you still have to find a way to deal and just be there for your kids. So anyway, Miss Wanda left, and Tawanda, she was just like, you know what, you should have just made a phone call and told Trina why you didn't want to come before her wedding, all that kind of stuff, so it wouldn't hurt as bad, it wouldn't be so upset. Because they said themselves that Trina is the most sensitive sister. um so he was just like, I don't know where y'all get off thinking that y'all can tell me what to do, but that's not how this shit works. That's not how this shit shook out. Y'all cannot tell me what to do. I am the father, and y'all are the kids. Straight up now. Tell me if you really want to love me forever. Oh, oh, oh. And so Trina and Tamar was just upset and just crying, and Tamar, she was just like, y'all are missing the point. Y'all are missing the point. You gotta choose your kids. You gotta choose your kids. And she was just, oh, child. I wish I could insert a clip. It was dramatic. She was just like, y'all are missing the point. And Braxton, he was just like, you know what? I can't make up for the past, and I really, really tried to be there for y'all and y'all time of need. And Tamar, she was just like, that's not true because I was on my deathbed. Which Tamar was very sick, and all that kind of stuff. And he was just like, I did try to come see you. She was like, no, you didn't. You did not try to come see me. Tawanda and Tony said that their dad was very, very sick and he couldn't travel more than 2 hours. So that's why he didn't show up to see Tamar not one time while she was in the hospital. I don't know how long Tamar was in the hospital. But that is very upsetting for, your dad to not um come see you when you're that damn sick in the hospital. But if the man can't travel, I mean, hell, like, he's 70. Like, come on, y'all. Like, seriously. Everybody did shit back in the day. That's all they used to do was fuck back in the day. I mean, hell, that's how all y'all got here. So, I mean, you know, they're also carrying a lot of hurt from their mother. And seeing their mother, and obviously that's their mother. They're going to stick up for their mother, which they should, and I understand, but, a lot of the hurt they feel towards Miss Wanda is because of their mother. And that's not necessarily fair. Um, so I don't know. I see all sides, but eventually everybody just got to let it go and coexist. No matter how the woman got here, she's a part of the damn family now. Just deal with it. I mean, the whole side chick thing becoming the main chick, whatever. We also learned in this episode that Michael Braxton, the dad, he was just like, Miss Wanda was not the cause of the relationship. Evelyn and the dad was having problems behind the scenes, low key, that I guess the kids didn't know about or didn't realize. So, and like Miss Evelyn said, he had a smorgasbord of women. So she just wasn't the only one. She just happened to be the one to get the ring, and that's where it hurts because she became the wife. After after her. So it's just messy. It's just that old 70s and 80s Midnight Train to Georgia love. Just a mess. What else happened? Tamar, she got up and walked out, and she was just like, I just can't do this. And, you're just missing the point, you know, and all this. And so Michael Braxton, he gave Trina a kiss on the cheek. And one thing the girl said, and they was just like, you know what, I'm not going to make my dad feel bad about who he is or what he's done, Tony. And she was just like, it is what it is. And Trina was like, you know what, Tamar, our dad is still here. She haven't left by then. Like our dad is still here. He's 70 years old. We, our hurt and our pain, we just got to find a way to deal with it and let it go because he's still here and we can't do nothing about the past. And all we can do is prepare for the future and make it better, which is completely true. And I completely agree. Just to sum all the shit up, all this old hurt, I just let it go. Find it in your heart to let it go. I mean, this woman has been in his life for 16, 17, 18 years. Like, come on. That old 90s hurt. Like, child, let it go. We're in the 2000s. But I do understand. Um, but like I said, they're holding a lot of their feelings because, that's their mom and the pain and etc. And I get it. And hopefully, some way or another, Miss Evelyn finds a way to fully get over it. Because she says she's gotten over it, but she hasn't. I don't think she's been with the man since her baby did. So it's really something else. It really, really is. I see it. I see it every day. Good women get dogged out by bad men all the time. I have a cousin who ain't shit.com. He's had all kind of good women's older cousin. He's had all kind of good women's, dogged them all out, and he's suffering today. In his later years. So all that shit comes back around eventually. But that's not y'all girls' issue. That's your dad's karma. I hate to say it, but all these things. If he's done all these things, if he's just bad of a person, then it's gonna hit him eventually. You don't have to do nothing at all. Sit back, be still, let God take care of it. Okay. So Trina, she's crying, and she was just like, I just can't believe that it was a conscious decision to not come to my wedding. Well, believe it. It happened, sis. Trina looked really pretty with her braids. So, Tony also said, I don't think the shit is going to ever be the same, knowing that a lot of the devilment that happened back in the day was strictly on Michael Braxton, their dad. It ain't had nothing to do with this lady. So, and she's a lovely lady. She seemed real sweet. So, hopefully they get it together. But I don't ever see Miss Evelyn and Miss Wanda actually sitting down and having a woman to woman conversation. Woman to woman, have you ever been in love? Yes. Come on, Shirley. Hey, Barbara, it's Shirley. From the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, to the clothes on his back and every piece of food he eats. Come on now. Woman to woman. So, Trina's still upset about her dad's not walking her down the aisle, and hopefully she gets over it. So the last scene was we had Miss Wanda and the dad standing up on the deck on the balcony, whatever, and they're talking and shooting the shit, and she starts to cry. She was just like, I don't want to take their mom place, and I just feel like I'm a part of that pain. And Michael Braxton was just like, you're not a part of the pain, baby. Well, she kind of is. Don't tell her that lie. Don't tell that lie, Dad. But no, is she probably the main reason? Probably not, but she is a part of it. Um, let's see. All the girls meet up and talk and have drinks. Looks like they're sitting at some kind of restaurant outside. Then Tony comes and Tamar asks Tony, "Why did you invite them?" And then it cut off. So, child, we'll be back next time, child. Whenever I see the next episode with Tony, Tracy, Wanda, Trina, Tamar, and Miss A will teach you a thing or two. Braxton family value. Yeah, I know I talked about a lot. Um, and comment below, let me know, etc. All my social media moments will be in the bottom bar below. Mr. Shalaki, Google Plus, follow me. Google Plus, follow me at ITSKINGWORLD Instagram and Twitter, at ITSKINGWORLD89 on Snapchat, Chase King myself on Facebook. All that be in the bottom bar below. These sisters, y'all tell me what y'all think about this mess, and have you guys ever dealt with this kind of situation? Have your parents ever dealt with this kind of situation? Let me know in the comments. Bye bye.